Be fun to take you behind the scenes and show you my new setup. I'm constantly reinvesting the money that I'm earning to make a better stream and make it more pleasant for you guys. So this is the SM7B. It's the microphone that I use right now. The new camera that I've got going on here is the Sony A7C. That's plugged in with a charger. Over here is a Logitech. Just in case if this goes out, I got this one as well. I've got my main screen here. You know, you gotta hit the curve right there. And we've got the secondary monitor just for anything else. Like if I'm bouncing back and forth, and you gotta know what the deal is. We got the light here to make myself look pretty, and then the Rodecaster soundboard. We're operating off a Mac Mini with a hard drive, and then back in the back there, that's where all the hub magic happens. I've got 2 new Pebble speakers. I've got my iPad when I use my drawings and all that kind of stuff, and the earmuffs. What are these called? The in-ears. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and we'll start this stream, well, right now. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the live stream. My name is Aaron. Welcome back to the Cowboys of Crypto channel, where we're talking CNFTs, ADA, Cardano on Tuesdays. If you don't know already, my name is Aaron, and I just want to welcome you to the live stream. We've got a couple guests here tonight. One is yet to make it. One is sitting behind stage, but I just want to say what's up to big ups to those of you guys in the chat. What's going on? Glad to have you guys. And let's get started here. I'm going to bring on our first guest here. This man has an NFT bank. He's sharper than a prison yard shank. He'll take all the gains and save you the pains. And when you've got alpha, he's him you should thank. He is the one, the only Crypto Warden. Welcome to the show.
Back at it again, boys. CNFT Tuesday. You guys know how I'm feeling, but the Islanders are still dancing. We're still rocking. It's 3-2. I'm telling you, they're going to come back down 3-1. But you guys know how I'm feeling. It's a beautiful day outside. It's CNFT Tuesday. There's not much else we need to say. Let's go, baby.
Good deal. We're excited to look through some crypto and Cardano projects. We've got someone online here, actually a surprise guest. We could bring him on in just a second. But Ethan, how are you feeling about like the CNFT space right now? Are you into a lot of mints? Are you into a lot of projects? While our couple of guests are getting set up, we want to bring them on properly. But yeah, how are you feeling about the whole space in general?
It's a very interesting time right now. I've only minted probably a couple of things. The big one was Goofy Gophers, who the guys we've had on a couple times on the channel, they're super brilliant guys. We're just like I said, in an interesting time. Everything is really down. There's a lot of reds going on. But we're kind of in the period where I've just thought that we're going to see projects start to fold. We're going to see these projects that start to give up, and they're like, we've done all we can. We can't survive through this hard time, and we're just going to take the money and run with it.
Good deal. Okay, so let's get right into this next person. Actually, I don't even have a rap for him. I didn't think he was going to make it here, but a special guest, and maybe I should freestyle. One thing I was doing, Ethan, on my drive to work today, is I was turning on instrumentals, and I was trying to freestyle rap, trying to like different instrumentals. So I would put on like Jeezy. Put on for my city. Have you heard of that song?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there you go. So yeah, I was trying to rap to that one. So I'm gonna try to put on for this next person. Let's see. This man thinks he could hand it. All the wins? No, he manned it. He's got a light on, and it's so strong. It's the one, the only, the Crypto Bandit. Let's go one time.
What is up, Bandit fam? It is your boy, so I'm looking to back again with another video, I guess, live stream, whatever you want to call it. I'm here, popping in. May not stay the whole time, but I am here.
Surprise appearance out of the lad.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's a little rough.
A little weird.
Say. Mm-hmm. It's a little weird. What are you on, Saran? How are you streaming in from us today?
I'm using my AirPods.
Okay, that's what it is. So I get it. And what caused you to come on to the live stream today anyway? Like, why are you on here? I thought you didn't like CNFTs. What's going on here in the market? What's a big?
I feel like it was a good time to catch up with the CNFT community and reinstill my hate.
Okay, that's fair.
Something about some stupid Goofy Gopher. I rolled my eyes immediately. Scoff.
I like Goofy Gophers. I
Off
like Goofy
camera.
Gophers.
Yeah, they're
You don't
great.
like well, Goofy Gophers is
Back to
if
the
you knew
foolishness.
something about Goofy Gophers, you know that they are they have they use the money from the mint to go buy miners, and so they're supposed to pay out these dividends based on the type of gopher you have,
Oh, I
based
thought
on the
Goofy
mining.
Gopher was the house guy. Give me money, I buy house.
No, that was the platypus guy, platypus cyberpunk.
Oh, all these animals. Platypus, gopher.
I'm not sure if that
CNFTs
took
are
off
big.
or
It's
not.
so big.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that took off or not. I don't know. I know some people who thought they were going to mint on platypus cyberpunks. They didn't mint that. But well, let's bring on our last guest here. This man used to work for a hedge fund, but the games in crypto left him stunned. He's chasing the game, making history and fame. His predictions should never be shunned. He is the one, the only Steven from VyFi. Welcome to the channel, Steven.
I always love your rhymes. They're always so much fun. I want to ask the crypto bandit something. You're judging CNFTs for having animal projects. What do other chains have?
Good question.
Crap projects made up on the spot.
Sorry?
I hear you.
Okay, cool. Just at least we can agree with that. We can agree on that. So it's not just a Cardano thing.
No.
Yeah. So
in general, and this is something I'd love to discuss, right? In general, I think all NFTs are bullshit unless they have something behind them, unless there's a utility. The chain is a little bit whatever. I don't care if you do it on AVAX. I don't care if you do it on whatever you want to do it on. If you've got a good utility, you've got an interesting NFT. That can be achieved anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. So Steven, why are you so excited about the Cardano space? I'm hearing a 0 out of 10 from the bandit. I'm hearing what are you, Ethan? Are you like a 5? If you were to give yourself a score on the Cardano chain, what would you give yourself?
I would definitely say 5, kind of in the middle. Okay. It's just excited to see what happens.
Nah, not the Warden, in the middle.
After today, having Bitcoin on Cardano, I'd probably be like a 6 or 7 if I could have Bitcoin on Cardano. It's definitely piqued my interest. Steven, what about yourself? You're building on the chain. How are you feeling about the excitement level for yourself?
Like, as the chain overall, probably 5 to 6. Myself personally, I'm probably more of a 7 to 8. That's just because I'm also I'm building on chain. I know the tools that we're bringing, so I know the advances that we're going to be bringing to the the world of DEXs for ourselves personally, right?
Yeah.
Cardano gives you a unique implementation to do interesting things that you can't do on other chains. Is that always a good thing? I don't know. Right? We're going to have to wait and see how the ecosystem develops.
Yeah. Okay. And I do want to get to VyFi a little bit. You guys are making some history, especially in the DeFi world, which I am all about. But right now, I want to talk and look at CNFT Tuesdays, and these are the goofy gophers that you were talking about, Saran and Ethan. Particularly made it for a goal for myself. I wanted to be involved in more Bitcoin mining projects, and so this is one of those things where I guess they're mining. The floor when we bought at these projects where we minted, it was 350. Now the floor is 700. So we are seeing a complete 2x here, which is great for our bags. But of course, me and Ethan, I don't think we're going to sell anytime soon. And I was explaining to my wife, I was like, yeah, this is basically based off of one team's sole dedication to pay out the I have no recourse, right? They have no recourse. So it's one of those things, but I personally like Goofy Gophers. I'm not going to go into the depths of this project, but we're seeing here, it's number 1. We have Ape Society, Ori Mob, Clay Nation. I'm
surprised that your wife listened to you talk about an NFT project.
She has no choice. She has no choice, or she's stuck. I'm like, she was in a conversation with me and my brother-in-law, and we were talking about how's the channel going? And I was like, you know what? He's like, how's the NFTs going? I was telling him about the stream tonight, and I was like, you know what? I'm not so bullish on CNFTs, but one project that has stood out to me is because I like mining is this Goofy Gophers thing. for that reason, I explained a little bit about it to him, and yeah, here we are. I've got 2 of these things. Apparently, I don't even know if I've got good ones. I think it was Freedom 35's own Tommy that said, "Yeah, you've got a good ones, like a master rank." I don't even know if they got ranks. So, I'm a holder with CNFTs. I wish I could be a holder with most coins, but I'm not. So I trade the coins, but I am a holder, a long-time holder with these CNFTs. Steven, what project are you gives you the most excitement right now? Besides
That I've
besides
been
VyFi,
playing.
besides VyFi.
I wish I could say that I've had more time to be playing around on the CNFT market at the moment. Unfortunately, because we've got our launch coming up, I've been a little bit not looking at CNFTs. IDO Pass is one that I'm always excited for. Another project, and I've mentioned these guys before. Reach Cloud, Varen, the people that are doing the metaverse construction tools.
That's
you had
cool.
to play with them once live on stream, and they're doing the tooling so people can build their own metaverses.
Oh yes, that's right. I remember that. Do you think that like the CNFT space is falling in line with you and me and Ethan? Like we're just losing interest in different CNFTs, and our interest is peaking in like building rather than like trading in these waves, because there's not really that big waves.
Well, the big thing that I think we're seeing right now, and I think it's a logical step forwards for the chain, really, DeFi is really starting to turn on, right? And now that DeFi is really starting to turn on, a lot of volume is going towards DeFi rather than going towards NFTs. So what we're seeing right now is just the blockchain itself is rebalancing to find its new normal, right? Now there's a big excitement moving towards DeFi projects. That'll calm down over the next 3 or 4 months, and then volumes will flow back towards NFTs and away from DeFi projects.
Okay.
Right, until eventually you find the balance between NFT and DeFi.
Okay. So if we're looking if there's a swing between DeFi and NFTs, where do you see the larger market at work here? I know we slipped into a lot of that meta narrative talk last stream when you were on, and I really enjoyed that kind of stuff. I'm sure a lot of people also did too. But where do you see, is there a meta narrative talk, like a meta narrative that's guiding the swing between DeFi and NFTs? And if so, what is that?
There is. So very simply, and remember, this is something that changes depending on the phase in which your blockchain is in construction, right? But essentially, a blockchain has got X amount of liquidity on it. Think of it as the total number of tokens on the blockchain, right? However much I want to split up the pie, I'm always splitting up the exact same pie, right? I can't have more than 22 or 23 million Bitcoin, for example.
Right.
Now, if we have a blockchain where the only functions that you can do on the blockchains are NFTs, the focus of that liquidity is going to be on NFTs, right? So you'll very simply just I don't have much other choice, but I can trade NFTs, so that's what I'm going to go trade. Now that the choices expand, essentially you just see yourself with a very, if I can go to shop at 3 stores, I'm going to go to one of those 3 stores. If I can shop at a mall, I've got hundreds of stores to choose from. On average, you're going to have more shoppers, right? The question is, if you don't have more shoppers yet, i.e. the chain hasn't grown big enough yet to be able to maintain having an entire mall open. In other words, we can't have all the tools functioning at once with the level of liquidity we have. And I think the meta narrative is really simply what we were discussing, I think, last stream and basically every stream we've had.
Liquidity?
Which is just we need more liquidity on Cardano to sustain these toolings that are coming out, right? If we had 5x the liquidity that we had right now, then you'd see that we'd be able to sustain all this DeFi liquidity as well as sustain all of the NFT liquidity that we want.
So you're talking
it's just
about
a matter of
more people in the mall being Cardano, the stores being the dApps, and the people in the mall being the consumers. So if you had more people in the mall, more people on the blockchain, you'd have more liquidity to be using with these dApps, namely yours, namely other people.
And absolutely. And I think the way that we can think of it is in the past, right? The only stores were the NFT stores. So all the consumers, all the shoppers were only going to the NFT stores. Now that more and more stores open, right, we need to see a commensurate size in the user base that's going to the mall. We need to see a commensurate size in the customers at the mall, right? Now that base is growing. You know, in DeFi, we're seeing a lot more transactions and we're seeing a lot more people come in, right?
In Cardano DeFi,
naturally,
or
this is
general
going to
DeFi?
flow into NFTs. DeFi in Cardano, I should add.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cardano DeFi. So if we go to Cardano DeFi as an example, and that's what I want to say. I really mean this to be good news, right? I made it sound like it wasn't necessarily good news, but if we're looking at the total amount of ADA staked in DeFi right now on Cardano, right? The peak that we had back in when was it? March last year was 420 million Cardano, 425 million, and right now we've got 466 million Cardano. Which means right now, in terms of Cardano, we've actually got more Cardano in DeFi than we've ever had before, right? Engagement in DeFi is at the peak. It's the highest it's ever been in Cardano, right? People are coming into the stores, but at the moment, they're distracted with the sales going on in Cardano DeFi, I guess is the best way to meta-narrativize it, right?
Okay. So I checked out a research thing, like analytics on Masari, and they said number of active wallets on Cardano 50,000. Is that a lot? Is that a little?
No, we want more. So like, if we compare it to the number of active wallets on, and I won't even take a large chain, right? We'll have a look at AVAX. If we look, which is Avalanche, I should add, just in case. If we look at the number of active wallets on Avalanche, we've got 140. Oh no, wait. Wait, I need to turn this on. That's why. That's the highest of all time. I thought that number looked a little crazy. So at the moment on AVAX, we've got 67,000 daily users, right? And AVAX in terms of total capacity is a smaller chain. Oh wait, you've got another one. Beautiful. Does that show the active addresses? Oh, perfect. It does. What's AVAX? Oh, it says 194.
Let's look.
Oh, whatever. It's there.
Let's see. I'm trying to look for AVAX. Let me highlight some stuff here. Cardano. Shoot.
Point being is, we've got chains much smaller than ours that have got more daily active addresses.
Cardano is 41,000.
47. No. Oh no, 41. I'm blind.
Where's AVAX?
What have you got it listed by?
I think this market cap.
Yeah, I think it's
listed by active addresses.
Tron.
Wow, Tron's the winner. Interesting.
Yeah. Tron by
clear
Tron
one.
at 2
People
million.
are trading Tron in like 2015. Tron's been around for a long time.
Bitcoin at 800,000, 840,000. Cardano.
Ethereum 461.
41,000.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. XRP, Algorand. Yeah, this is crazy.
This is interesting. I've actually never listed them by active addresses. It's really interesting to see. So actually, that's pretty good. We're in the top 10 at the moment. I actually wouldn't have expected that. That I think is a pretty bullish sign.
Where's Solana?
9 out of 10. Solana,
The
0.
liar.
Yeah, this doesn't have Solana or AVAX though. I don't know how. Let me go to, instead of that, let me go to DeFi.
Yo, did you ever get on that project on Communitas that was on AVAX, bro? Because I checked it the other day. By other day, I mean like 2 weeks ago. I made like $4,000.
Wow, good trade.
Good for you. Was it
Well done.
like a launch pad?
It was a launch pad.
Yeah, good deal.
I like forgot about it.
Sometimes those are the best ones. Yeah, that's how I handle NFTs. Those are the best ones. Yeah, we'll probably do a mandatory. We'll probably do a giveaway later through the stream for people who are active or whatever. But yeah, I would assume that one of those things is like active wallets, active addresses, active trading. And I'm not sure, like I said last time, I'm not sure how they quantify what active is. Is it like moved in the last year, which I would
No,
consider active?
I believe active should be performed a transaction in the last 24 hours.
24 hours. God,
24 hours.
Mhm.
Then I wouldn't even be on there.
So like the 24 hour, it might be 1 week. The 24-hour active address for Cardano is 33,000. I just looked at that now. So it's obviously more than 24 hours, but I don't think it's much more than 24 hours if it's going from 33,000 to 47.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. One thing I do want to move into was that some Cardano news. Wrap Bitcoin token goes live onto Cardano testnet. Be able to wrap Bitcoin onto Cardano would be huge, I think, because Bitcoin's the mainstay. I want to know where you guys think Bitcoin's going. Is this a good move? I mean, obviously, I think it's a good move. I don't want to ask the basic question, but where do you think Bitcoin's going from here? We're at 28K. It just crested over 28K now. How are you guys thinking?
I'll let others go.
I think it's going down, baby. Some housing foreclosure numbers came in. I literally do not understand why the stock market and subsequently the crypto market is rallying again after it dropped. I'm so confused.
I can try and help elucidate you a little. I can help trying to elucidate you a little on that. There's a lot of weird things going on macroeconomically that kind of push together. So like this most recent dump, what you'll see is this recent dump is pretty much directly in correlation with the dump that we had in the bond market. I should say the pump that we had in the bond market, but that's because bonds are inversely priced. So what we're essentially seeing there, our pullback here is essentially just a pullback on bonds, right? So if you go to can you go to the U.S. Treasury 10-year bond yields? I'll give you a chart. Boom. So see that leg up that we had. See that leg down. I was wrong. It's down. Sorry. See that leg down that we've just had? That means that our interest rate expectation is going up, right? So that leg down that we've just had indicates an increase in interest rate expectations, i.e. there's more probability that interest rates are going to be going up, right? That interest rate expectation matched that drop that we just saw in Bitcoin, right? Now, what's really interesting is if you go to the 1 month, have a look at that pump that we saw, and guess what Bitcoin did at the exact same time?
This was April 6th to April 19. Okay. We're going to go here to the 1 month. We're going to go April 5, April 6 to April 19. This is the same time frame right here.
Mm-hmm. So see how the Bitcoin chart almost looks identical to the bond chart. In fact, see that bump there. Go back to the bond chart. You can see the exact same bump, right? Yeah. So what we've actually got right now is Bitcoin is being played as a hedge against US Treasuries, right? So from an institutional perspective, traders are using it to hedge inflation again. Well, to hedge interest again, right? Expectation for interest. Sorry. It's in line with interest.
Can you explain that slowly for me? Because I'm a lizard brain.
Okay. So if the price of bonds go down, the expected interest rates are going up. If the expected interest rates are going up, it's harder to access capital through debt, right? Mm-hmm. So essentially, debt lending becomes more difficult. If it's more difficult to get debt, it becomes more difficult to service loans. If it becomes more difficult to service loans, it becomes more difficult to put on risk assets, right? Now, When we see this bump going upwards, that's an expectation of interest rates going backwards, right? So this is basically saying to hold 10 years, right, I'm offering you 3.57% interest, right? So at that rate, when I'm offering you a higher interest to hold money, right? That means it's more expensive for the government. I'm earning more interest for you holding it, right?
Right.
That means now I'm earning more money for holding debt, which makes my debt more serviceable, which means I've now got more spare capacity to gamble on speculative investments. So what we're seeing here is actually a combination of two things. We're seeing Bitcoin moving in line with the bond market, very much in line with the bond market. Essentially, Bitcoin is acting as a bond, as a secondary bond bet right now. You know, if you have a bet on the bond market, if you think interest rates are going to go down, your best bets are going to start turning. Your best bet is to buy Bitcoin. If you think interest rates are going to stabilize, you probably still want to buy Bitcoin. If you think interest rates are going to continue going up, then you want to sell Bitcoin, right? All we're doing here is guessing on the interest rates, and that's all Bitcoin is doing.
So I have a theory that the interest rates will increase by 25 BP in May, will pause in June, and will remain paused in the reverse in the later half of the year. Do you agree with that? And if that's my theory, that you're saying I should buy Bitcoin.
If that's your theory, I'm saying you should buy Bitcoin, yes. I would say what I think every economist would pretty much say about guessing interest rates. It's like throwing darts at a dartboard blindfolded, right? Like every economist and their dog has an opinion on what the next interest rate raise or what the next few interest rates are going to be. And if you map them, you'll find that pretty much every economist is equally consistently wrong. So, like,
what do you think is going to happen then? I only have so much money here. I'm going to spend it or sit on cash. What do you think? What do you think I should do with it?
What do you think you should do with it? Like, for right now, we've got a lot of global conditions that we're looking out for, right? We got the Ukrainian counteroffensive starting, and the Ukrainian counteroffensive is going to have big impacts on global supply lines, particularly if Russia decides to, blockade the port. What's it called again? Not Kherson. Is it Kherson? Might be Kherson. The port. No, the port that they have still on the water, but isn't part of Crimea. Forgotten the name of the port. Sorry, where they do all the grain exports from. Right. So if we start to see Russia blockading that port again and stopping the flow of grain exports, we're likely going to see interest rates continue to rise because we're going to have a lot of inflationary pressure on food. Right. Another one that I'm looking out for is oil. So currently, oil is really, really cheap because the Russians are being forced to sell it below market value. So we've currently got, so the Russian oil is $20 cheaper than global oil barrel prices, but it's pushed down the entire oil market, right? That's also really been helping with our inflation because oil's gotten cheaper, pushing down the cost of petrol. Now, if that global condition were to change and we start to see an increase in the oil price, which is one that we have to look out for now that we're heading into the Ukrainian summer offensive as well, I think that would be a very high risk for Bitcoin as well. Because if we have oil prices going up, inflation is going up, which means there's going to be more and more push towards increasing interest rates, right? So at the moment, the commodity cycle has kind of come down to a bit of a low. Commodities are fairly cheap, and it's assisting us in maintaining lower inflation while we're in this higher inflationary or in this monetary expansion policy, right? Monetary expansion means we're printing more money. Because we've got this commodity low cycle, as that commodity cycle begins to shift, I see a lot of risk to our fundamental interest rates, right? Because if we start to see those commodities start to push up, prices of goods are going to start pushing up, which means interest rates are going to start pushing up, which means Bitcoin's going to be pushed down.
So you're saying because of the Russian-Ukrainian war, ultimately all of this is going to increase commodities, increase interest rates. Is that what you're saying? Well, first of all,
I'm saying that's what we need to, to look out for. That's what we need to look out for. Okay. I'm not saying it will happen. What I'm saying is there's a real risk that this results in a reduction in supply again, like we were seeing earlier in the war cycle, and that results in a push on inflation. Yes.
Russia and China and the Saudis are already in a conversation about oil, petrol, right now.
Absolutely. OPEC's already talking about it. Oil's too low. They're not happy about it. So if we put all these things together, right, a lot of people, there's going to be supply issues, that's for sure. I don't know to what extent. And OPEC's already pushing to increase oil prices, right? As you just said, Crypto Bandit, which means that there's definitely things that make me go, I don't think interest rates have stopped going up, which is exactly why we've seen the bond market do its recent dump, right? Because that's people gambling that interest rates will go up. Bonds are inversely priced to interest. If interest goes up, bond prices go down. If interest goes down, bond prices go up.
Isn't that what caused Silicon Valley to fail?
Sorry?
Isn't that what happened with Silicon Valley on their bonds?
Man, I spoke about this last time, but really briefly, yeah, Silicon Valley were idiots, right? I was a bonds trader. I was a bonds trader at a hedge fund, right? And if I left my desk to take a piss without hedging my position, I would have had my head trader in my desk standing at my desk when I got back screaming at me, right? And he's like, what are you doing leaving your desk unhedged? You're an idiot. Piss your pants. I don't give a shit, right? There's no way you can leave your desk unhedged. And that's with a little shitty account of like $3-4 million, right? For a little hedge fund. This bank had fucking 24 billion on the books and they left it unhedged for 2 years. Bro,
I feel like you got PTSD.
I do, man. I do, because the amount of times I've been screamed at, because like you think taking a wee takes 5 minutes, right? But if you put it all together, you take 2 wees a day, that's 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes times 5, that's 50 minutes a week. You're working definitely when you're in a hedge fund 50 weeks a year. That's 2,500 minutes a year. You divide that through, that's 41 hours a year that you're spending taking a piss, right? And you're going to tell me that in that 41 hours that you're taking a piss a year, the market is not going to do stuff? Well, then you're just naive, right?
Hey, Matt, real fast. They're actually trying to move away from our natural gas, actually. Natural gas is like a flipping nightmare to transport. And the fact that it comes all the way from over here is like bonkers, and they want to move over to Russia.
Yeah. Do you have any response to this? So Uncle Matt says, how is that affected by liquefied natural gas coming from the U.S. to you supply Europe?
Yeah, they literally are in talks right now, like backing out of deals for our natural gas.
So I think I can answer this with a little bit of...
Germany spent a fortune to set up the ports, right? Because essentially Germany was the one that really needed the gas because they were mostly supplied by Russia and they didn't have the capacity to receive the gas because they didn't have any ports that could accept liquefied LNG. LNG, sorry, L is liquefied. As a result of that, now they've started building the ports, but they've realized there's still like 1.5 years, 2 years to go, and they've kind of solved their gas issues. So they're kind of like, oh, well, we don't really need to finish spending these billions of dollars to set it up.
Yeah. I heard a take on this this gas thing. When you're transporting it, they actually freeze it. And so when they freeze it, they bring it over to the port, but when they bring it over to a port, they have to empty out the port and they have to bring all the ships out of port because it becomes a bomb. And so if something goes wrong, that gas, that frozen gas is like a natural bomb that it can explode in port and destroy everything there. So it actually costs so much money and time and effort and resources to bring that, to move all of that gas, or to move all those ships to accommodate gas coming in. So it's a huge logistical nightmare. So they have to get it like through other ways, like local ways, rather than shipping it across like the whole entire ocean or whatever. So
and that's it. You can do it safely. Australia's got very good liquefied natural gas ports, for example. Right. So in Western Australia, where we do most of our liquefied natural gas mining, we've got the largest liquefied natural gas port in the world. It's actually rather obscene. If you ever can you? Wait, let me just look what it types in. Like Australia doesn't do many things engineering wise. The one thing we do is dig holes. And one of the most impressive machines in the world, I'm just looking for it now, is the largest machine ever built in the world is called the Badger 293. Just quickly chuck that into your pictures and have a look. It's wild.
What is this? What am I looking at?
That's an excavator to dig out mines. It's the largest single digging machine built in the world. It's in Western Australia. It's absolutely obscene.
That looks like something out of a video game.
Yeah, like
Right?
Transformers or something.
It's just stupid. The only thing we do in Australia is dig holes. Anyway, our liquefied natural gas is a product of that. We've got the largest liquefied natural gas port in the world as well. And yeah, it does turn into a bomb, right? A lot like liquid nitrogen. Because you have to hold it at super low temperatures for it to remain liquified.
What is this? What is this, a Transformer? Is someone the freaking Dragon Zord on me?
I think that's Photoshop. But definitely Europe doesn't have the capacity to receive liquefied natural gas by ocean. Right? Like it's just not something they've ever done because they've got the pipelines to Northern Africa as well. Right? So they receive a lot of liquefied natural gas from Morocco.
Yeah, taking it from a boat will actually, it's like a huge risk to the port, huge risk to everyone there and the commerce there and all that kind of stuff. So it's one of those. It's one of those.
And can I talk about Bitcoin's trading's position right now for a moment?
Sure.
Could you go back to the 7-day? Oh wait, sorry. Could you go to Trading View? And could you turn on the SMA, please? Indicators SMA.
Where do I do that? Golly.
Indicators. It's along the top. Yeah, SMA. No. Smooth moving average. They write it all out. Smooth moving average. Yeah. And now on the SMA, we want to open it up. Oh, do you know how to change the settings on it?
No. What are you asking for me?
Okay. I just wanted to change it to the 50-day. What we've essentially got right now is we're in a situation where the 50-day moving average, right? I'll set it up on my screen. It'll take me 2 seconds. I'll pull up the chart. The 50-day moving average, we were testing it yesterday, right? And the 50-day moving average is an important one for a midterm indicator. So it's when you're looking at what do I think is happening in the medium term or what has happened over the previous medium term. Now, when we look at that, we've done a technical bounce off of, I'd say, because if you look at today, actually, that's a really good example. Let's look at today. If you look at the bond markets today, the bond markets haven't moved. They haven't gone down, right? But Bitcoin has gone up. So under my previous argument, if Bitcoin's following the bond markets, why would the bond markets remain stable like this and Bitcoin do that if they're following each other? The reason for that disconnect today is because Bitcoin hit that really important technical indicator yesterday. That's the 50 SMA.
Okay.
Right? So as we approach the 50-day moving average, and that was acting as our support, we got a technical bounce off of the support level, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Now, to be able to tell the difference between an actual up move and a technical bounce, like are we actually moving up now or is this just a technical bounce off the 50-day moving average, is a really difficult question to answer. We don't really know until we see price action. You can look at volumes to give you an idea. So is more volume coming in? And if more volume is coming in, then we might be in for a move. But in general, what we're really interested in is, can we hold that 50 SMA, which is 27.2, I think, 27, let's say 27K, but it's a little bit above 27K. And if we don't hold that 50-day moving average, we're likely going to consolidate around the 25 to 25 half range. That's where I'd expect the consolidation to be, right? And that consolidation is going to be supported at that range because of the 100-day moving average.
So if it breaks under the 50-day SMA, it's going to consolidate. You think that you'd expect it to consolidate around 25K?
Yeah. That's my expectation. Now, the other thing that means is that we probably might be off for the bull market that we were all hoping for if that takes place. Right? Like that's a sign of, that is not a sign of a bull market. You know, breaking to the lower end, to breaking the support provided by your 50-day moving average is not a bull sign, right? That is a sign of my market in general is going down over X period of time.
That's some technical.
So this is a really
nonsense right there.
Yeah, but this is a really pivotal point in the Bitcoin market, right? Because what we're seeing right now is a test on that medium term resistance, which is the resistance that has everyone thinking, oh, we might be in a bull because we've just been going up over the medium term. The last sort of 1 to 2 months, we've had this sort of upwards trend, right? This is our first real test of that upwards trend against the 50-day moving average. Now, what will really support us here is if bonds are able to go back up. That's what we want. If we're able to get see bonds go back up over the next week or two, then we're going to be able to see the Bitcoin market supported through that, right? Second, I've got my dad calling me. I'm just going to be 2 seconds. Dad, I'm in a meeting. I'll call you back after. Yes, I'll call you after. Let me just sorry about that.
Gotta say what's up to the dad to the pops for a second.
Yep. Sorry. So what we're interested in is essentially what the bond market is going to be doing over the next week, right? So as a crypto trader right now, or as a Bitcoin trader right now, you should be looking at the bond market to be giving you ideas as to whether we can hold the 50 SMA, or looking at the bond markets for ideas as to whether we think the 50 SMA is going to be broken on the downside, right? Now, The big things that are going to be impacting that, we've got quite a few important news events coming out, right? Like GDP is coming out on Thursday. US GDP is coming out on Thursday. Unemployment claims is coming out on Thursday, right? Both of those have a very big impact on the bond markets. So I would say that at the moment, 10:30 p.m. America time on Thursday is a time to look out for. Stuff is going to be happening in the bond markets at that time, and that's going to be leading the way for the crypto markets based on the GDP and unemployment figures that we're going to see.
So if you were a betting man, right? If you had money right now, $100,000, what would you do with it? Would you sit on it in cash? Would you put it in Bitcoin?
Yeah, probably.
DCA?
I don't like gambling on interest. I don't like gambling on interest rates. That's not my trading style. A lot of people do, but I mean, a lot of people do, right? I'm not a swing trader. I don't sit there and try to get massive swings. I don't sit there and try to think, I think interest rates are doing this tomorrow, so let's bet on it. I have a much more, let's say, consistent return methodology. You know, like those swing trading of that kind is a very risky type of trading. You can make a lot of money. You can lose a lot of money. At the end of the day, I really like being able to go out and buy breakfast every morning, or I like being able to go to the shops and buy my food. I like being able to go to the movies on the weekend. So I much prefer, making 1 to 2K a week consistently than risking 50K every week and maybe making 150K.
Sure. So what would you do? You'd sit on cash?
Yeah, at the moment, I'd probably sit on cash. If I would do anything, I would probably engage in like a Bitcoin USDT Ethereum liquidity pool on like Pancake Swap, so that I would hold like $20,000 in USDT, $20,000 in Bitcoin, and essentially ride the hedging risk, right? So if Bitcoin goes up, I'm going to be making half as much from impermanent loss, but I'm still making something. If Bitcoin goes down, I'm still losing, but I'm losing half as much. I wouldn't be trading direct markets right now. I'd be trying to stick it to the to essentially hedged markets.
Yeah, keep it safe. Okay, as we're winding it out here, I do want to take some time to talk about history in the making here. Steven, could you tell me a little bit about what VyFi has been up to in the last few month, few weeks here?
Oh, it's been a really big couple of weeks. So I would say first and foremost, we are launching very soon. We're actually going to be announcing our launch date this week, but it's going to be early May, first week or two of May. We have we are going to be launching with our farming on our testnet at the end of this week. And what makes our farming so different is that we've got non-custodial farming. So what that means is that all users have to do is hold the LP token in their wallet. And once they've held the LP token in their wallet, they're going to automatically be farming from there. What this means that we have, and we've released some articles on this, is that it allows the LP tokens to remain loose in users' wallets, right? So that means that these liquidity pool tokens can essentially be used for other things by users. And as such, oh, you've staked 2 IDO passes. You should harvest
I have
those.
them right here. Yep.
Give them a harvest, they're done. Now, what that allows users to do is that allows them to actually keep those LP tokens as value in their wallet. Oh, you need to set collateral on your wallet. So that means that we can actually use these LP tokens for other tools. So the first one that we're introducing is layer 2 liquidity pools, which means users can essentially use those LP tokens to create liquidity pools using those LP tokens, right?
Okay.
And that's going to be a first in crypto. There's never been a system that incentivizes users to create liquidity pools out of LP tokens. Okay, that can normally be fixed. You're using Nami right now, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah, Nami's a bit pooey. That means your wallet's got a lot of NFTs in it, and your UTXO is really large. Yeah, that means your wallet's really big. Yeah, and your UTXO is very large. So you need to either send everything in your wallet to yourself. That generally fixes it. That's just a little UTXO management. Or the other option is move some of the NFTs into like an NFT holdings wallet. You'll find as you get more and more NFTs into that Nami, more and more dApps will start to do that.
Okay.
My Nami doesn't work anywhere.
No problem. We're going to open up a new Nami wallet and send a lot of these things over there.
I recommend Eternal.
Eternal.
But I would generally suggest anyone using Cardano, because of the UTXO model, to have one wallet for staking stuff and one wallet for NFT stuff.
Okay.
Right? Because every time you spend a transaction on Cardano, right, it spends the entire UTXO. So let's say you've got 300 NFTs in that UTXO, right? Your datum that's going to the blockchain contains 300 lines of text because it contains everything that you have in that UTXO, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your fees is based on the kilobytes that you use up on the blockchain for that transaction. So if you've got more NFTs in the wallet that you're using, your fees will be higher.
Yeah, got it.
And once you pass about the 100 to 150 mark, you'll start to get what you get, which is touchy behavior on dApps, right? Sometimes it'll try to spend the UTXO and it'll be like, this is too big.
I can create my own Nami wallet and just send it over there, right? Just for...
Yep, just create a second one within Nami, absolutely.
No problem. So, but if I'm using this to so if I have the liquidity token in this wallet, I just keep it there, right?
Keep it there. You'll be farming automatically. Or even better, supply it to a layer 2 liquidity pool, boost your farming, and let users buy it directly off of our exchange. And that's where we're going to be totally different to other DEXs. Because we have these layer 2 liquidity pools, users can come to our trade screen and they can just select the liquidity pool token on the bottom, put in how much ADA they want to trade, and they can buy the liquidity pool token directly. And it lands straight in their wallet. And as soon as it lands in their wallet, they're instantly farming. So that means that our flow for a new user has gone from supply liquidity, get both tokens, supply liquidity, go to the farms, deposit it into farms, and then wait to farm, to our user flow is go to our trade screen, put in how much ADA you want to buy, press enter, and you're instantly farming. And we call that one click to farm.
That's pretty easy.
Super easy.
Is this
and
the
other
future
thing,
of DeFi here?
I think this is definitely a step up in DeFi. I think it'll be the future of DeFi in Cardano, because this gives us so many more tools. Let me give you another example. We're speaking with some people at the moment. Won't give away names just yet. Regarding using our LP as collateral for lending.
Okay.
right? Now, if you think about it, if you use, let's say, VyFi, we'll use VyFi as an example. If you use just VyFi as collateral on a lending platform, you hold all the VyFi risk, right? Like you're exposed entirely to VyFi as the lendee. If VyFi goes down, you can get liquidated, right? On the other hand, if you were to supply the VyFi ADA LP as collateral, you're holding 50% of that value in Cardano and 50% of that value in VyFi. That means that your outright price risk for that collateral has reduced by half because you're holding 50% ADA, 50% Cardano, 50% VyFi instead of just 100% VyFi. Which means all of a sudden, if you want to provide collateral in VyFi, but you provide it using the VyFi ADA LP, you can get a reduced collateralization ratio because the risk profile is reduced. So we can actually provide lending options to users with reduced risk profiles by using our LPs as collateral rather than using CNTs themselves.
So more people can borrow more because of your collateral that you're putting up.
Mm-hmm. And the coolest part is, though, and this is what we want to design, those LPs, while you use them as collateral, they still earn farm. So we want to make it so that the farm from the LP is used to automatically pay off the interest of the loan. And that's something that we're working on right now.
Oh, that's really interesting.
So essentially what you'd do is and then of course the user takes any leftover interest, any leftover farm that's earned, right? So let's say there's an LP that's earning 30% of a year. You've got 20,000 ADA worth of the ADA VyFi LP, let's say. You put down that as collateral and you take out a loan of 10,000 ADA against that. The loan that you take out in ADA has got an interest rate of 27%. And the current farm on the VyFi ADA LP is 30%. 27% of that farm, so most of that farm is going to go to paying off the interest of your 10,000 ADA loan. And the remaining 3% is going to go to you because it's your LP until they take it as collateral, until you get liquidated, right? It still belongs to you. That way, we're able to create a system whereby the people getting the loans are able to accept a collateral, which is a lower risk than just an outright Cardano native token. And the people providing the loans are able to use the farm that's generated from the actual collateral to pay off the interest that they're paying.
Yeah. This seems like a game changer, especially with DeFi.
This is a bit of a game changer with DeFi, yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap my mind around all the benefits from every part of the ecosystem. People are making.
I'm still trying to, but to be fair, I'm still writing articles about it and trying to wrap my head around it as well. I actually don't know what all the consequences of this will be. I don't think we can know what all the consequences.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Going, right? Like, how are people going to use it? All of a sudden, you can use LP collateralization to manage your shorts, right? And then you can manage it to arbitrage. You can use second layer LPs to arbitrage, and then you could do second layer LP collateralization to build arbitrage portfolios. Like, you could do the most complex stuff with these tools that we're bringing in, right? But at the same time, the whole point of them, I should add, is to be as simple as possible, right? The entire idea is that to engage, a user only has to go to our trade, do a single trade for a single LP, and they're instantly farming and engaged, right? So whilst it not only does it simplify the process for a user to be able to engage with the DEX, but it also gives you access to a whole range of toolings that don't exist anywhere else in crypto, because this function is a Cardano function. We've designed it in the same way as Cardano. It's exciting.
I'm going to need to test. I just want to see and test and like watch what the market does with something like this. It's hard to wrap my mind around it all.
What I'm really hoping
immediately.
for. Sorry,
yeah,
you go.
Immediately, I'm just gonna say it opens up opportunities for farming for sure, but more importantly, it opens up opportunities for borrowing, which is I think more powerful. And the borrowing with the farming creates unique opportunities that I'm not sure if I understand totally right now.
And I will be honest with you, I don't know if I understand them totally right now as well, Aaron. That's part of the fun of being a financial engineer, I
Well, I'm
guess.
glad, because I feel like a bit of a lizard brain right now. I'm like, oh, what does this mean? Like, I'm trying to wrap my mind around who would use this and how would they use it,
So
right?
what
Like,
we're really hoping for is that users are able to do this to create boosted farming streams. So let's say you have the art of VyFi LP, as we were talking about. You provide that as
yeah, you're
liquidity.
farming on top of your farm.
Exactly. You're then able to provide liquidity using that, and you're able to get a loan of ADA. If that loan is costing you 27%, but you're able to earn, let's say, 35% with that ADA, all of a sudden you're making 7% bonus, which means it becomes viable for you to boost your liquidity, right? So what we're actually doing, and this is what I really hope, and this is why, with the liquidity, with the loan providers, they're so interested in working with us. We're hoping to use this as a tool to boost overall liquidity across the blockchain. Because you could, for example, provide liquidity on our platform, use that LP to get 10,000 ADA, right? Let's say you had 20,000 ADA versus the LP like before. You use it to get 10,000 ADA, but now ADA VyFi is offering better farm on, let's say, MinSwap. So you can take that 10,000 ADA and you can put it onto the MinSwap platform. So now you started with 20,000 in liquidity, but now using that liquidity, you've got 30,000 in liquidity. Now, that being said, there is risks involved, right? Doing that means you're now exposed to more risk because you have 30,000 in token versus 20,000 in token.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. And if the market crashes, you're not making any more farm. You lose value in your coins. And I mean, if it crashes, bad news for everybody, for sure.
Yeah, of course. But you don't necessarily need a crash or a pump. Like, I just hope at some point crypto stabilizes and we can just get, like, even if it's stabilized at 60 cents on Cardano, like, that's fine. Just stay steady for a little.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because these systems work fine with stable prices. It doesn't need to be a pump or a dump. It can just be, like, fairly even.
Yeah, that's funny. Geez, well, best of luck for the VyFi things. How do we get involved if we're interested in VyFi?
Absolutely. Just jump on any of our socials, Telegram, Discord, Twitter. Ask us anything you want. We're releasing quite a few articles at the moment. I stopped writing an article to jump into this. I'm going to go back to writing the article. And you can, of course, buy us on any swap, on any exchange. On Cardano, we're on MinSwap, Wing Riders, Sunday, Muesli. Excuse me. You can also buy us on Milkometer on Blue Shift. And last but certainly not least, please swing by and say good day. We definitely are not here to. We're definitely here to answer any questions you have. And we're launching very soon. We're launching, come early May. So our audit's almost done. Yay! It was so expensive.
Yeah, I would imagine. Do you know how expensive? Give me a ballpark.
80,000 US.
Oh my gosh. Well, hopefully there's a lot of money running through the system, and especially during the bull run, you'll be seeing a lot more activity.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You just need to do it so that the big bag holders feel confident in putting in big bags.
Yeah, well, yeah,
right? Like it's essential.
Yeah, I think I think that for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I don't think anyone here is denying that audits are important, right? So yeah, just expensive.
Yeah, I hear you. Guys, we still have to do a quick giveaway. Let me see if I could do this really quick. I'm gonna bring it over to my screen here. All right, I'll give away
a white NFT as well.
A white NFT. So this one's gonna specialize in two NFTs that are coming at you. I'm going to put a drawing up on the screen here. If one of these two gets it on screen before anyone in the chat, they're going to give it away to someone in the chat. Okay. And then you got a white NFT and an NFT that I'm going to choose right now. So you're going to see which is this. This is Pictionary.
Turtle.
What animal are you drawing? A beaver.
No.
Yeah. Even with those teeth, it's not a beaver.
An otter.
I'm not sure if this. This
I mean,
this has
you're
a
killing me with it not being a beaver.
Yeah, right. The teeth are really doing it in.
Especially, yeah, the teeth
It's
in
not
the
a
tail.
beaver. It's not a beaver. Maybe I don't know how to draw this.
Squirrel?
Maybe,
Squirrel.
no,
chipmunk?
Yeah. Raccoon.
No,
Chipmunk. Someone said chipmunk.
Yeah. I was,
not a chipmunk. Not a chipmunk. I'm looking at it.
what are you drawing on its head?
It's a, you know.
What?
Is it
A
a chupacabra?
construction worker beaver.
Oh, it's a goofy gopher.
It's a goofy gopher. I'm not gonna give out a goofy gopher, but it is a gopher. This right here is a gopher. Congratulations.
Good job.
I'm staying
Ethan.
hot. I'm keeping the streak alive. Once again, the Academy, my mom, the great supporter of mine. I'm just so grateful because I despise Pictionary. I want Hangman back, but that's okay because I'll take the win.
Pick out someone from the chat to win this, and then chat and put that ADA address in your YouTube account, or into your YouTube description. Because what happens is, if I ask for DMs, I get like 3 DMs from different people saying that it was me. So that's what happened with J Crypto Minded last week. I got 3 people saying like, "This is I'm J Crypto Minded." I'm like, I don't trust any of you guys.
It's so crazy.
So go ahead and pick someone.
We'll give it to
In
my
the
dog,
chat.
Matthew Spears. Congratulations.
Okay, Matthew Spears, you're gonna get a Goofy Gopher and an NFT wallet. Actually, just send me your NFT wallet, and then I'll make sure that it gets to you for a white NFT and a NFT here. Guys, thank you so much for a fantastic night. I appreciate the perspective, Stephen, from the macroeconomics to what you're doing with VyFi. Best of luck, and I want to hear more about that
Thank you
next
so much
month,
for having me.
especially with all of that. So thanks so much,
Absolutely.
Ethan. Thanks so much for being a co-pilot, and chat.
Sure.
Mandatory, D-Boy, I'm not sure, Matt, all these guys. Thank you, Paul. Thanks so much for the stream, and we'll see you guys in the next stream.